disrespected the game. Now my name all in the news. Tripping on all of my moves. Quote me on this, got a lot more to prove. Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county with nothing to lose.
No, on the ground, you. But I don't do this shit for nothing. No, not at all. You, but my money real, that you do. Oh yeah, so I don't do this shit for nothing. No, not at all. Oh, I told her I got.
Like I never left. Stand for some shit that you never read. Passing through stages in life, through the ups and the downs, like it's all just another test. Live by the rules like a fucking ref. I got respect in 100 sets. Too many chains, need another chest. Playing no games if it wasn't chess. Come from that cloth that you couldn't stretch. Come from that circle you couldn't test. Heavily pressured and under stress, even though niggas ain't sure we was a mess. Honest attempt playing to the left. Judge a young nigga by their address. Left us no option, what they expect. Only thing we knew for sure is the bang the set. Fuck living basic, I'm taking risks. Fuck what they saying, I'm saying this. Don't waste your testament, don't make you rich. It don't mean nothing, so fuck them, let's make a grip. Double up, triple up, make assists. Ballin' so hard you can pay a bitch. Lean to the lake if they wanna fish. Make sure them niggas around you stick to the script. This should be written in stone. You should come visit my zone. Don't take my word, double check all of my flows. Ask them how hustle got on, but fuck what you heard. This for who walk down that road. Sold everything but they sold. Third off the curb. Real niggas rich as you nerds. Address the human makers. Look, lot of niggas feel what I want. Lot of niggas fold, but I cope. Lot of niggas gone, but I'm home. Lot of niggas off, but I'm on. Lot of niggas lost on this road. Couple niggas gave up they goal. Gang of niggas traded they soul. But me, I'm standing on 10 toes. Looking out my Benz window. Wonder where my friends all go. Scared to give my heart to this girl. Paranoid she gon' leave if my hands get low. Knowing that this game to be played, but I'm knowing that this game to be changed. I should be afraid of afraid. I'm just trying to live up to the meaning of my name. I'm just trying to live up to the niggas in my gang. I'm just trying to live up to my moment on the stage. I'm just trying to live up to the truth of my pain and the power that it gave me on the youth for today. I put a coupe in a safe, and I shoot from the waist. My time is money, and I ain't got a second for you flukes and you fakes.
How do you dream for my walls? How do you dream for my niggas? How do you dream for my brother? How do they dream for my niggas? Yeah. How do you dream for my walls? How do you dream for my niggas? How do you dream for my brother? How do they dream for my niggas? Yeah.
We be taking trips more than often this month. When I call, he pulling up 2, 3, stream up. You ain't doing enough for the clan. How I feel if I gotta sit it down. How the fam gon' feel 120 in a euro, one hand on the wheel. I was just broke, ran through a $250,000. They leave him still here. Shed tears for the dead. Cubes in my thought of chest, she don't even wear. Pop my little brother up, you know we took it there. Real nigga telling on me, only thing that I fear. Yeah, only thing that I fear. Real nigga telling on me, only thing that I fear. A lot of niggas queers, a lot of dope in the air. A lot of niggas queers, a lot of dope in the air. Styrofoam contaminated, got a nigga meditating. Yeah, I said it, got a nigga meditating. I can't even eat, listen medicated. I can't even sleep, listen medicated. I've been on my feet, chasing check after check, nigga week after week, cause I'm dedicated. I can't even eat, listen medicated. I can't even sleep, listen medicated. I've been on my feet, chasing check after check, nigga week after week, cause I'm dedicated.
Sweet, let's get it. The recap from yesterday. Right. Looking at this 15 minutes of me when we dropped down. Right before we took this low, wanted to get a retracement back into it. Right, so then we could target relatively equal lows down here, sell side liquidity. Right, possibly trade down to this 4-hour imbalance. Right, what we ended up doing is just purging the sell side liquidity and then kind of reversing and going towards these relatively equal highs, which was all-time high and the high on the day at the time. Right here, as well as here. Right during the PM session, end up right late AM session, whipping back up during lunch, right, and then kind of just chopping around, generating more buy side liquidity, and then right at the open right here, right, that would just have in this current 15-minute candle, did we get a purchase that buy side liquidity, Right, coming above that all-time high. We have relatively equal highs up here. Right, so basically a bunch of relatively equal highs for buy-side liquidity. We have a small little 1 minute shift in market structure. Right, this low. We have a short-term high here. Imbalance. Right. Right, looking at that right now. A lot of sell-side liquidity here building up. All right, but we haven't just quite shifted on the other higher time frames, right? 5 minute is still bullish. All right, 15 minute is still bullish as well. We haven't got that definitive shift in market structure just yet, you know. And I mean, just looking at it, it was a very shallow run above all-time highs. So I was kind of anticipating that maybe we'd get one more shift right above it, right? Because we barely wicked above.
Until we fall, won't take no loss, won't take days off. We go so hard until we fall. A nigga used to dream my reality to dream now. Nigga used to dream my reality to dream.
Clean that up from yesterday. Right, that's our all-time highs. If we purge through this sell side liquidity here and don't get that bearish close on the 15 minute, right, I'd be anticipating that we continue working our way up higher. You know, we have a 1 hour imbalance here that hasn't been tapped into. Right, it's kind of like the last inefficiency that we have that hasn't been tapped into. Right, we have an inefficiency here, but we tapped through it here. So maybe we could revisit that, but right, it's the only open inefficiency we have here. You know, so maybe we come down, purge some of the sell side liquidity, right, and then get that shift up higher. Right, but I didn't really want those sells so close to all-time high, and we barely like 1 or 2 ticked above it. Yeah, only 1 tick above it. So we're anticipating we would get back up there. That's what I'd rather wait for. Check out the weekly candle formation. I mean, we barely ticked above last week's high, right? That's what that 1 tick above all-time high was last week's high. Possibly creating a weekly imbalance here, a busy. Right, but still looking for that expansion, right, past the weekly high. Right, want to see that displacement above there. All right, we already have possibly displacement above these short-term highs here. That's looking good, and that's after we've already revisited that weekly imbalance, right, that we're talking about. That overlap to that daily imbalance that will drop down to. Right, daily imbalance below equilibrium. Right, a discount. Boom, traded it. Traded to it. Right, traded up, retraced down. Right, and now we're currently right here with no imbalances, right, no busies left behind. So we're working pretty efficiently. I'd say even in the 4 hour, besides those relatively equal lows on that 4 hour imbalance, we've been working pretty much every inefficiency, right? Busy here, traded to it. Alright. Some busies here. Candle bodies painting just outside the lines. Right, but still respecting. Inefficiency after taking that short-term high. Traded to, right? Really just kind of tapped into it a little bit. But overall, been working pretty efficient. All right, even if you look on here, protecting a lot of the lows. Right, so unless we get a shift in market structure, right, a dramatic shift in market structure, right, these are going to stay protected for now. All right, just for now. We keep respecting the busies here. Candle bodies respecting it, right? Coupled 1 hour imbalances here. Respected. All right, same thing here. Displacement higher, taking out some short-term highs. Right, candle bodies respecting it. Created this displacement higher yesterday. Creating this 1 hour imbalance. Candle bodies painting outside the lines a little bit. Right, but getting another displacement higher. Right, so we're just kind of feeling inefficiencies and continue working our way up higher. Right, we haven't had any bearish shifts, so I think we're kind of just accumulating, right, until otherwise, right, until price wants a shift to the downside. We're just accumulating here, accumulating to stay long, right, accumulating long positions inside of here. Till we get that shift in market structure, right? We'll keep flowing with it. We'll keep flowing with it. Alright, we just have an orange folder, I believe, at 10 a.m. Nothing too crazy. And then another orange folder at 10:30, right? That crude oil inventories. Right, we got unemployment claims 8:30 tomorrow. And also a 9:20, which is strange, but 9:20. Right, Mr. Jerome Powell speaking. Right, entering that first AM macro session here.
Yeah, I'm trying to go down, down as a great. Every
true. Do it like that puzzle, that's to fill some big shoes. And what good is excuses when the fucking wrist do? Smoking all that Sindo. Run away from my pain, rosemary on my temples. Heard that's good for migraines. Solo in my benzo. Exit off the highway. Solitary thoughts like how to reinvest my side chain.
I'm tryna go down, down as a grave. Every night I get on my knees and pray that I will go down, that I will go down, I'm tryna go down, down as a lich. Every night I aim, God for the bliss, that I will go down, I will go down,
Now, so many niggas doing time. Who are you and I? To play with it, it's a blessing, so reach for the sky. Pick up Shady off the block and we'll smoke and drive. Politicking on the block to make it multiply. Keep some bitches on the team from the other side. Keep at least a pound of green, motherfucking right. 30 hours in the spot, going overtime. Then we pull up to the Fox and go hold it down. You know this life, it got a cold design. How you go from eating lobster tail to the ocean prime? The chain to a smoker and throw it on the line. But when them gates close, keep an open mind. It ain't no force in this world like a focused drive. You gotta focus on yourself like an only child. You make your dream realer and you make your team better. You wake your game up and you make your scheme better.
They say this time, won't be like the last time, but this time, I'ma do it like my last time. I'ma go hard, my nigga, put my name in the stars, my nigga. I gotta pray to God, my nigga, that I will go down.
Look, I'm from West Side, California. Hey, run up on me. Ask you where you from and check your tats under your clothing. Hustle, go hard, make sure my knot's swollen. Fuck you, say the wrong hood, bullets exploding. I trust you, people these days, cause that's gold. I see niggas get killed for who they roll with and chose to keep inside they circle, Satan sitting on your sofa. Same nigga that shot you was the one you used to smoke with. Cold shit, my whole clique notorious. You heard of us, 6 souls is murderers. You still serving clubs, jealous nigga, you broke as fuck. Yo, bitch on my nuts, spilling Patron out my cup, she can't get enough. Buffing me down as I puff on the finest kush. They say I be doing too much, I just do my stuff. Yeah, I just do my stuff. Hustle, hustle, blue laces, shield cases, check bodies, we don't leave no traces. Big faces, suitcases. If you ain't no hoe, we get paid, bitch. Blue laces, shield cases, catch bodies, we don't leave no traces. Big faces, suitcases. If you ain't no hoe, we get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid.
We the best music. Yeah. DJ Khaled.
It appears like we're getting some displacement above this short-term high here. I mean, we purge a little bit of sell-side liquidity, not too much, honestly. Right. I feel like we would want to trade back down here one more time before anything.
Money turn 10, cross turn 2. Starting to see this life shit from a bird's view. We the ones that made millions off the curve, fool. In this rap shit 10, never made nerd moves. Hey, whoa, you keep taking me higher and higher. Yeah.
Might trade into that little volume imbalance here. We also have a lower fair value gap here as well. Honestly, I'm just sitting on the hands right now because I feel like it can go either way. It's like we can go down, purge that sell side liquidity like fairly quick, right, with putting in that low right now, and then in combination with that, right, getting that little small 1 minute shift in market structure, short can take us there, right? We trade down into that 1 hour imbalance. I can see that happening no problem. But then I can also see like something like this holding, right? I mean, we purge some sell side liquidity, not too much, and then getting that displacement above a short-term high, right? Targeting these highs here, this all-time high. So, you know, I'd rather just sit on the hands, right? Until it's like super one directional, right? Like I wish we would have came down here, purged all this sell side liquidity, tapped into this 1 hour imbalance, and then got this 1 minute shift in market structure higher, right? That would give me a lot more confidence that we're gonna continue working up towards this all-time high, compared to like this shallow run, right? We retrace and then we get that displacement above that short-term high. Not purging too much liquidity, right? Even though 5 minutes closing pretty strong, right? We just kind of wick down here, do damage, and then we close back up here still. So this is the 5 minutes looking good, you know. So maybe those do hold right here, but I'd rather sit on the hands right before it, until it's more defined, well defined. Ranges are smaller this morning as well, right? Definitely not as wide as normal, right? They're a little bit smaller, right? That's only 3.5 handles. That sure was 2.5 handles, right, for the stop loss. So, you know, I'd rather just sit on the hands, wait for more one-sided direction. We're about to get that 10 a.m. Orange folder as well, dropping here in a couple minutes, so we shall see.
Still made it here. Rich real nigga ass I'm coming straight off the slump. A crazy motherfucker named Nipsey. I'm turned up cause I grew up in the 60s. Caution.
Right.
You rap niggas trying to
Keep sitting, be patient.
big guns, nigga turn rivals into rosaries, extended clips. I give a fuck who you supposed to be. Straight off the block, I sold dope to buy groceries. Now it's rap money, no advances, all royalties. You broke, nigga, you can follow me. It's fuck bitches, get money, keep some hollow heads logically. And I'm for where homicide boost the economy. Pay taxes to these corners and putting in work as a policy. It's white chalk on the corners. It's yellow tape on the gates. Choppers up above, that's cuz a tiny lokes run the streets where I'm from. Small introduction to this Nipsey Hussle music. Us money and bitches, that's the way that we do it. First get your grind on, then get your shine on. Then come through daytime with the lights on. Then hit the fast lane and let your chain swing. You get like a doctor, but you gang bang. Yeah, it's hustle in the house. Yeah, it's hustle in the house. I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding. Breaking down a swish in front of your building. Sitting on the steps, feeling no feelings. Last night it was a cold killing. You gotta keep the devil in his hole, nigga. But you know how it go, nigga. I'm front line every time it's on, nigga. 100 pro flow, run and shoot pro. 458 drop, playing bulletproof soul. Every few shows I just buy some new gold. Circle got smaller, everybody can't go. Downtown Diamond District, jewelers like yo. Hustle, holla at me, I got Cubans on the low. Fruit of Cancun.
Right, looks like we're drawing towards those relative equal highs, or that all-time high up here.
Listening to music at the Mayan ruins. True devotion on the bluest ocean. Cruising. My cultural influence, even revolution. I'm integrated vertically, y'all niggas blew it. They tell me hustle, dumb it down, you might confuse me. This ain't that weirdo rap you motherfuckers used to. Yeah. Yeah, this your life, you can play with it. You make your bed, you gon' lay in it. Do your thing, in a state prison. Blue laces in my blue chucks. I ain't never gave $2. BT, I jumped the hood up. Asking if that nigga nip hood, what? Like I wouldn't take it to the back with you. Same nigga walking track with you. Same nigga shot a strap with you. Same nigga
Check out that 15-minute candle.
19 touches.
Yeah, so still just following that bullish order flow. Right, I wish we would have came down a little bit more and purged that sell side liquidity, more sell side liquidity, as well as tap into that 1 hour imbalance. But it looks like it doesn't want to quite get down there.
Rich rapper on some crib shit. I pray for blessings as a young nigga, not to learn the hard lessons of a drug dealer. Triple life with a gang enhancement. The judge triple white and he hates your blackness.
Alright, but getting some good movement away from this, these imbalances here. Right after taking that short-term high here. Boom. Right, looking to target this new all-time high that just came above the previous all-time high. Had that little orange folder drop at 10 a.m. All right, we got another orange folder dropping at 10:30 as well.
And if you don't die here, you're supposed to fly Lears. 365 years like a dog year. No wonder why these niggas 20 and got white hairs. Stressing like they 40 and some change. Slowly in this game, all my homies is in pain. And Brody is the slang, but it don't mean he your brother. It don't mean you can trust him. It don't mean that he love you. And we was raised wrong, but we stayed strong. And when we kept it real, we got faked on. And when we showed up, we got flaked on. But why them niggas story getting cake homes? I bet my life I'm a dice shaker. Electric lights on a skyscraper. It's up and downs for a real nigga. But you'll be lame all your life, hater. Mac 10 in my black Benz. Show me signals of betrayal, can't be back friends. Long flights get my mind right. Victory to me is when you spend your time right. Victory to me is when you get your grind right. Victory to me is when you get your moms right. Niggas got this shit twisted like Jean-Michel Basquiat destroyed his pictures. Self-inflicted homicide, don't pull the trigger. I feel like I got to tell you, you got something to contribute. Regardless what you into, regardless what you been through, I feel like I got to tell you, you got something to contribute. Yeah, me, I'm getting back rubs from these leather seats. Yeah. Negotiated equity positions you'll never be. Nigga. Rap sheet full of felonies. Yeah. Status symbol on my set of keys. They say I was selling dreams. Back to the brick wall, I'm in hella trees. Visualizing hella cheese, you can smell a weed. Niggas doubt pessimism ain't affecting me. Fuel to the fire, took it higher than they ever seen. Frequent flights sink like 7 seas. Shopping spree, spend about 11 G's. Eyes bloodshot, I don't never sleep. My niggas act on instinct, we don't never think. When confronted with a problem, we don't never flee. We connected at the bottom like the letter V. So accustomed to the pop, we don't even blink when them shots go off. Get the Glock show off. Yellow tape a nigga equal up to hate a nigga. Nothing major, nigga, just a demonstration, nigga. Within the matrix, nigga, I drew illustrations with him. Words that is, for sure that is. Look, that nigga got his off the curb, that is. So how the fuck is niggas so concerned with his? I be baffled by the fact when niggas burn their bridge and try to double back like, what the fuck is that like? Nigga, what this rap like? Way too bad.
Just fine, and we ain't finna wait no more. So don't waste my time. Remember when we had no way, no way. But we'll be okay for now. We'll be okay for now. And here on now.
Now you up, huh? Make it hard to trust, huh? Got you fucked up, saying it was luck, huh? Pulling up, huh? Limo tint the trucks, huh? Open trust, huh? Then you fill them up, huh? Every time a nigga drop, it's real as fuck, huh? Every time you hit the road, you fill them up, huh? Whole city know that you became the one, huh? They seen it from the jump, huh? The pressure weigh a ton, huh? Especially where you come from. Every night, heavy price, but it's just the cloth you cut from. It's alright, it's just life if you want one. Learn to hold yourself down with a big gun. All these niggas playing tough, you gon' chip one. For these dollars a decade, you a rich one.
Alright, still just slowly working our way up. Alright, kind of like another 15-minute. All we have is this volume imbalance higher, which is good. Alright, maybe we could retrace back there before taking the liquidity above this wick. Right, if price wants to retrace. If not, alright, full steam ahead. Full steam ahead.
Nigga need at least like 30 for the show now. Whoa now. Realest out of SoCal. Baby wanna fuck, I'm like, slow down. I'm eating cheese eggs in my hotel. Hustle sold out, nigga retail and wholesale. Me ballin' hurt your feelings. Oh well, all money in, I pull coattails, nigga. Feel like a legend in these Puma swags. I'ma still make millions when this music fade. Reinvent every time the music change. My gut had me feeling like I knew the way. I feel like I spoke for my generation. All game in my demonstration. To my gang, I'm a
There we go.
pay dues, never
Purging that liquidity at all-time highs.
entertainment. Feel like I'm built for whatever storm. Whatever way the game test me in whatever form. Through all them dark times that they never saw. I feel like I stand tall and can never fall. I feel like a one-on-one. Like the last dope boy in the game with 100 tons. Tupac got the troublesome. A boosie badass. Drop a bag on you niggas if I want it done. Fuck where your hoes at, or where your rolls at, where your backbone, nigga, where your code at, where your down since day one real bros at, where them stories that you tellin' unfold at, where your heart, nigga, where your soul at, we got old school ways we expose that, ain't no guarantees, but you know that, niggas die every day, can't control that, King Griffey throw
Right,
back,
see how
nigga had to
long
go
those
back, musta popped 28
short-lived,
times,
right? Very short-lived, these shorts here.
nigga that I won't check, run
All right, we initially got like a 7-handle point drop. All right, purging some minor sell side liquidity. All right, but when we get that displacement up, all right, already took out the highs here, so short-lived. All right, able to capture some liquidity, but not too much. Right before it turns around and reversing. All right, just looking at how shallow it ran here. Right, and wanting the longs, right, to be retraded, to trade back into this 1 hour busy. Right, right, purging this buy side liquidity without purging too much sell side liquidity. Right, didn't need too much. I was waiting for it to purge more sell side liquidity. Right, trade into this 1 hour busy and then get that displacement higher. Right, that shift in market structure on the lower time frame. But nonetheless, still doing the do.
Fuck where your hoes at, or where your rolls at, where your backbone, nigga, where your code at, where your down since day one real bros at, where them stories that you tellin' unfold at, where your heart, nigga, where your soul at, we got old school ways we expose at, ain't no guarantees, but you know that, niggas die every day, can't control that.
I think that our reaction to being disrespected, we have to reassess how we react. You know what I mean? I think that we've been known as hip hop to make songs, and that's a part of it. And then we gotta go a step further, because I think that it's like a disease in your body. Once you start giving it a treatment, it'll get immune to the treatment, and you gotta try something else to kill that disease. So I think protest music is important. I think that YG was a genius.
Fuck where your hoes at, or where your rolls at, where your backbone, nigga, where your code at, where your down since day one real bros at, where them stories that you tellin' unfold at, where your heart, nigga, where your soul at, we got old school ways we expose at, ain't no guarantees, but you know that, niggas die every day, can't control that.
See, now that would be interesting, right? Getting a shift in market structure after purging that the opens high. Right, that would be interesting now. Right, how we have this potential little shift in market structure. Right, we'll see if this 1 minute Sibi gets left open. Right now we can aim for the relatively equal lows. Sell side liquidity get purged more. Right, 1 hour imbalance to get traded to, because now this is more significant, right? Having this little 1 minute shift, purging that, and then getting another shift on top of that. That is very interesting. Very interesting. That would be very interesting. Right, doesn't want to leave that Sibi open just quite yet, right? So, you know, maybe it maintains that bullish structure, but that would be very interesting to watch. Right, just being patient, waiting for Price to tell us what he wants to do. We don't have too much price structure to go off of, right? If we're talking about structure-wise on the other lower time frames, right? The nearest low that we have is like this low right here. That's like in a short-term low, right? Even on the 30-minute, same thing here. 4 minute, same low. 5 minute, same low, right? Pretty close to this low. So, right, sitting, being patient. Kind of stick around for this 10:30 turn here, because we got that orange folder to that crude inventory, crude oil inventories. So maybe we can get some more volatility spike around that time, and then right after that will pretty much be the end of the session. So we got about 20 minutes or so. See if we take this high one more time.
All my niggas ballin' in the fast lane, 100 something thick when we pull up to the valet. Park and hop out with the mad face, cause niggas think shit turned down since the cash came. Fuck that, heard shots, then we bust back. Bulletproof, everything, you can trust that. You done it like we done it, I suggest that. Cause would you rather be the victim or the suspect? No, I came too far. Change my ways, no, I changed my bra. Chase my change, never change my squad. And stack till I can change my car. Cause I wanna Benz, I wanna look good with my friends. I need my money, that don't never end. I wanna blow some bands, and still have some bands. I wanna be the motherfucking man. I wanna Benz, I wanna look good with my friends. I need my money, that don't never end. I wanna blow some bands, and still have some bands. I wanna be the motherfucking man. Runaway bus catching, blue line train riding west side with the young extras. These old rules came with no questions. Wrong and live by, but it's no exceptions. Was young and reckless with loaded weapons. It's code of ethics and self-destruction. When it's over, you left with nothing. This life ain't it, boy, better check the subtext or the fine print. Felt entitled to this fly shit. Felt like every bad bitch should be on my dick. Felt like niggas lied to us on some fraud shit. Fuck it, that's the title ball bounce on some wall shit. Right here with all my brothers on some squad shit. All money, one nation under God shit. Neighborhood MC hustle on some boss shit. AKA nigga born broke, that'll die rich. What they call you, where you from, nigga? In my city, that was question number one, nigga. Looking at the legend I become, nigga. I can't help but feeling like I am the one, nigga. What they call you, where you from, nigga? What they call you, where you from, nigga? What they call you, where you from, nigga? I can't help but feeling like I am the one, nigga.
The nigga had the nerve to walk up on me, ask me where I'm from. I told him I ain't bang, he didn't listen, so I gave him one. Knocked us a diddy one. Nigga tried to hit him up. Now he wanna get him up and set it up and wet it up. Now I'm from the hood, checking niggas on the daily. Started off BG, OG, baby. Real live homie, 2 heaters in my seat. Had to check a nigga at the Compton swap meet. Where you from? I don't bang. Where you live? Where you hang? Say the wrong thing and bang. Lights out, kites out to the homies in the pen. Crippin' in the city, we ain't letting cuz in. A lot of niggas camouflage, try to blend in to fit in. Get a hood rat so they can sit in. But if she got a brother, a daddy, or a cousin, they hit your ass up like a motherfucker. Where you from, cuz?
What they call you, where you from, nigga? In my city, that was question number one, nigga. Looking at the legend I become, nigga. I can't help but feeling like I am the one, nigga. What they call you, where you from, nigga? What they call you, where you from, nigga? What they call you, where you from, nigga? I can't help but feeling like I am the
Bitch, I'm
one.
dope, way too dope. I'm talking about a motherfucker had to sell dope. I had to chase dreams, I was in the ghetto with a tattoo artist and a few extendos. I had to make moves, it was confidential. Bring the drama to your ass like we banging death, bro. My bros both started in the west side with an Alpine bumping all the bass lines. I snuck out my house way before the bedtime with the goons in the G ride on a test drive. Guns in the stash, who the fuck on a trip? I fuck with your hoes, but don't fuck with my clique. We murder your style, we smoke loud in this bitch. Gang unit pulled me over when they seen us in the whip. Gang unit pulled us over when they seen us in the whip. I didn't wanna do it, but I had to sell dope. I didn't wanna do it, but I had to sell dope. Mama tried, but there ain't no thing like homie love. I keep on getting faded. Mama tried, but there ain't no thing like homie love. Get it? That's how we do it in LA.
Nah, I got a 40 on my waist, back in the safe, 30 in the clip like back in the day. Ride till we shine, stack in the safe. Act like a bitch, you get slapped in your face. Money man, blink the block till it's said and done. Fuck his word, don't do business till his credit run. Said he tryna get some birds, now I'm selling some. Am I fucking with it? No, never none. Always hopping on the plane to get the cheddar, huh? Drinking all the Satan lean, I got a belly, huh? As my nigga J Rock, he can tell you how. I be in that bag of that back, just watch your belly, huh? With my feet up, drunk like a leader. Hello, nice to meet you, you should be my senorita. Mama Mia, that's how we wake the seat up. All you heard? I mean, pussy getting beat up. I did. Last time that I checked, there was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rap. Last time that I checked, they was selling zones in the set. Make a $250,000, no sweat. Last time that I checked, I'm the streets voice out west. Legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked, first you get the money, then respect, then the power and the hoes come next. Last time that I checked, I've been self-made from the dribble. I was been saying I'm a killer. Nah, playing no games with you niggas. Pop clutch, switch lanes on you niggas. Nah, I laid down the game for you niggas. Taught you how to charge more than what they paid for you niggas. On the whole thing for you niggas. Reinvest, double up, then explain for you niggas. It gotta be love.
Nothing too crazy. I'm kind of just chilling out. I've taken that all-time high. Short-term low here. All right, short-term high here. So we'll see how we treat those two. Also shorter term on the 2-minute. Right. Also a short-term low on the 3-minute as well. We're looking at which is the cleanest. I mean, this 2 or 3 minutes looking pretty clean. Still got plenty of time in the candle, so we don't have to leave it open. Alright, so be patient for that. Alright, see if something like this fits in the range. Yeah, that'll fit.
remember feeling like a stepchild, nigga. I would hate to
Honestly, this 2 minutes looking pretty clean. Even this 3 minute, if we get that bearish close on the 3 minute, I think it even closes it in a little bit more. Let's see.
used to always say I'll make the whole world feel us. Now I'm on a tour around the whole world, nigga. Paparazzi waiting at my hotel.
Let's see if we leave this open here.
Smoking while I'm driving, that's with no else, nigga. 20 bands a month, just for your bills, nigga. Princess cut
Alright, getting some good displacement. I like to see that after the close right there.
camera and show your
Good displacement lower.
you feed 'em what you want, 'cause that's your kill, nigga. And through the darkest days,
Right.
it was like, oh well,
Possibly even building up some more sell side liquidity here.
world, nigga. I don't stress out, nigga. Poke my chest out,
I
nigga.
like the idea of that.
My shoulder bring the best out, nigga.
See if we can get a bearish close below this low here on this current 3 minute candle.
I never fold under mental pressure. I get better, ain't no code to y'all misconception. I'm just special, it's an ode to my intersection. May God bless and save my soul.
Take us down to this 1 hour imbalance.
Can't measure with a number, all these niggas rest. It's a lot, and you that young and with this life and death. You shell shot, but ain't no tears in blood.
Even on that low right there, 9 handles, yeah.
Nigga, count up that low, that's just what I do. Count up that low, nigga. What? Count up that low.
Completely closing that in on the 2 minute, 3 minute.
Black on black bands, young niggas salute. Go Cuban links, just rap
Alright, just kind of trading up to that 1 minute imbalance here. We have another one here.
top of my game and what's up with you?
Alright, but would have more like to see. Yeah, I mean, this is a short little range. Would have liked to see more of those 2 and 3 minute setup as well, right? In combination with that 1 minute, just more higher probability of it working. If we generated more relative equal highs by coming like right here, creating relatively equal lows, right, I'd feel more confident in taking these 1 minute setups, right? But since we're overall still bullish, right, on everything except the 1 minute, right, I'd rather just sit patiently and just wait.
Shout out to Wendy Williams, cause she helped me surface. Shout out my nigga Jigga, cause he made that purchase. Shout out my nigga Sway, my nigga B-Dot. Who kids sold out the first day we had to restock. Look, count up that low, count up that low. Look, black on black bands, young niggas salute. Look, go Cuban links, just repping my roots. Look, blood, sweat, and tears, just squeezing my fruits. Look, my nigga Hoggy got shot in his head. Look, I got that car and they said he was dead. Look, I couldn't cry, but it hurt a nigga. Mostly because he was too young to find his purpose, nigga.
It's such a long, long time. Looks like I get you off of my mind, but I can't. Just the thought of you turns my whole world Nipsey blue. 6. Oh, homie. Just the mention of your name makes me wanna bang my game. Listen to me, homie. When I think of the things we used to do, and my whole world turns Nipsey blue. 6. Homie, I should forget you. Heaven knows I've tried.
And even this 5-minute entry, oh yeah, even this 5-minute entry will still be within 5 handles. All right, which I like this better if we get a stronger close to the downside here. Right, get a close below this low, short-term low. All right, we got a nice little imbalance right here that we created, which actually fits within 5 handles on the 5-minute, which is kind of crazy. Right, so, and then if we're looking for 10 handles past that, it's honestly very similar to that 2-minute and 3-minute entry. Alright, but we gotta get that strong close first. All-time highs, definitely want to make sure that the order flow is starting to switch up. Right, because look at these wicks doing a lot of damage, and look at the candle closures are still relatively bullish, so right, gotta be super just aware of that. Like, look at the first half of that 5-minute candle, right? Wicking all the way down and then coming all the way back up, right, towards the open of the candle. Still got 2 minutes left on the candle, but that just kind of shows you the wicks doing a lot of damage, but the order flow is still bullish. Let's see if we even close that imbalance in on the 5-minute. Alright, this potential sippy right here. We might just run through that and close it in. And this candle has to close fairly bearish, right? We're talking minimum below these lows here, but as close to this short-term lows, right, as possible. I like this. If it's starting to close like that on the last few seconds, if we get some good displacement to the downside, what is this high? 74. But this high is 70, 57. We actually go one tick. Yeah, it's actually smaller than the 5 handle. 5-minute imbalance here. Traded below the short-term lows. Candle closures lower. Alright, if we build it, oh yeah, that's gonna look real nice if we're building up that sell side liquidity.
Anything you need off top, you can hit me. Life getting crazy, shit getting tricky. It's just something about you, man, it's better when you whip. Flight to the D, don't trip, it's on me. Then I'ma lay you down, I'ma give you what you need. There's so many things running through.
Kind of overlaps with that first imbalance as well. That 1-minute imbalance right here.
Get a chance to see you, cause it's been a minute. minute. I like when you wear your hair like that, stop tripping. And how can I resist when it feels so right? So fuck all that texting, babe. I'm about to.
Alright, but I like that shift on the 5-minute structure more. Right? It's like more definitive, more pronounced. And yeah, building up a lot of sell side liquidity here. Right? If we leave especially if we leave these relatively equal lows, right? That's like low hanging fruit right there. Low hanging fruit. So hopefully we save those right for later. Trade back up into our 5-minute imbalance. Right, and then purge those relatively equal lows. That's gonna look real nice. Right, that's like some low hanging fruit that we could target.
I show love back cause I keep it so real. It feels so better when you with me. So damn right, baby, you can come with me. With your sexy ass.
What it is, what it is.
And I'ma do the same for you, baby, for real. Man, damn. You see how I'm coming, nigga? Feel me? Nigga, I bounced up that Roy, nigga, almost hit my motherfucking head, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Beating their ass, though. Numbers, nigga. What you niggas know about dope fiends and blocks? You was always in the house, caked up with the thought. I was whip at the whip, nigga, spot at the spot. On my way to Santa Rosa to go pick up a lot. Yeah, this cold cost a bunch, you got G's and shit. My Asian nigga out the way, got them P's and shit. I'm a millionaire, nigga, I don't need the lick. I know the niggas still hating, so I keep the stick. Bust another play, then I do the money dance. No better feeling than them hundreds in my pants. The watch cost a lot, she go choose off.
Alright, this idea will get discarded if we purge through majority of the sell side liquidity. Trade down to this 1 hour imbalance. Right. Then I'll dish the idea to the curb because that's my target, right? My draw on liquidity, right? We have a lot of relatively equal lows. Right, so if we just start sliding, purging through this sell side liquidity, then this idea will be invalid. But other than that, it is gonna be valid till then.
Sam, now I'm clean as a bitch. Rollers behind me, I ain't turning down shit. It's been a long time since I used my nine. You got yours, nigga, I got mine. I was slapping that shit in my drop top fit. They pulled the nigga over, I'm like, why you fucking with me? Check it out, bitch, you go choose a snooze. You complaining daily, cause you pee or lose. Desert Eagle on me, same size as a ruler. Nigga, get out of line, then I'm on this medulla. Macking, stacking. What else? Pussy, I be smashing. Good job, Larry. Her booty just won't stop clapping. My neighbors thinking something just happened. What's happening? Nigga, don't fuck around with me. 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 Long time. Into the late night, nigga. Niggas know I'm coming, nigga. Cardo on the beats and shit. You know what I mean? Shit so normal to a nigga, man. You know what I mean? Switch it up like shoes, nigga. I'm reaching in my motherfucking pocket. 5 G's cash and a modified whopper. I'm picking up this bitch, I'm in sack. Bonafide snow guaranteed to make dollars. It's only 2 bitches that I like. A trapping asshole and a squid that keep it solid. These niggas
Alright, the only reason why I'm holding this on past, this is another good point right here, past the usual timing, right? Generating these relative equal lows, right? That's very low hanging fruit when we don't purge through it like that, right? And we already have that shift in market structure. Alright, we already have that shift in market structure. Yeah, we become below this low here. low-hanging fruit, right? To be our first target, right? To get us draw down there. So if we're gonna draw down and purge these relatively equal lows, would anticipate we also purge these single lows down here as well. That's kind of just my mindset. Could be wrong, right? But this is my setup.
And bitch, don't check me, bitch, check the air quality. Numbers. Yeah. Dysons and shit. You know what I'm saying? $500 fans and shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit something slight though, you know what I mean? Run that. I was born in 91.
See if we catch it towards the end of that, or the start of the first AM, the second AM macro, right? Which is in about 13 minutes.
Take another L. I ain't really been the same since they killed my nigga Lil. Riding with a ghost 40K, shit get real. No phone, no Twitter, no gram, just feel. Posted in the trap, selling niggas ETD. Call of Duty on me, niggas not robbing me. Left wrist on lottery, got cottage cheese. I'm on win mode, bitches no stopping me. Gas up the motherfucking whip, now I'm scraping. Cooling, moving, smoking like Jamaican. She shaking, dick so good, got a craving. Remind me of this little bitch I had named Megan. What's happening? Put the P aside, now I'm macking, stacking. Yes, Lord, another 100,000. It's feeling like a dream while I'm counting up these band-aids. I could've got a job, but instead I chose the fast way. What's happening? Bitches see and wanna come and choose on a P. Bitch, I feel like I'm dreaming. Bitch, I feel like I'm dreaming. It was a clear afternoon. The bitch wasn't casual. Riding to the neck, just me and my hammer. I don't want no drama, but I gotta stay ready. Bought the little bitch some fish and spaghetti. Met a bitch name, don't say it. Met her in the town, took her to the crib and killed it on the couch. Why you niggas always stressing about a punk rock bitch when your kids ain't even got no clothes that can fit what's happening? Bitches see and wanna come and choose on a P. Bitch, I feel like I'm dreaming. Bitch, I feel like I'm dreaming. I was born in 91, product of the dope game. 50s, Camaros, cuts when we swing. Crack game, you don't even know the half. The stress, living life so fast. I'm dreaming. 91, 91, 91, 91, 91. I'm dreaming. 91, 91, 91, 91, 91, 91. Now, nigga, when you see me hop out this motherfucking thing with them bust Daniels on, they don't be talking, nigga, you know what I'm saying? 800 to shoot, bitch. Numbers. Check. I done took L's, I done took wins. Calculated risk, no assist, just him. Don't call me the king of shit, I'm just trying to live. Take care of my son, buy another Benz. Living on the edge, but it's all about the.
Let's see if we can use this second AM macro to draw towards those relatively equal lows. If we can get tapped in here, right? They'll draw towards liquidity, right? Those macro sessions want to draw towards liquidity, so you know it's kind of lining up here. If we get the entry in the next 10 minutes, right, and then get that speed and velocity from the first AM or the second AM macro.
Understand time is valuable, consistent. Got tired of taking L's. You gotta trust your dough before you can sell it. Pack it and mail it. It took me to places that I've never been. I'm thumbing through yen. In Tokyo with sipping gin. Well respected, well connected. Oh, you got some money? Well invested.
Yeah, no bullish shifts in market structure.
G.O.D. my first whip was a Lexus. Check. I was down to my last Thai ramen pack when I got the text message saying I'm about to be a dad. Fled to Arizona, started moving packs. That was that. Hotel to hotel, nowhere that I was living at. If I get caught with this backpack, it's a wrap. Back then the loss was hella different. I was going down. My homie had a smoke shop. That's where I used to stash it at. We cut from the same cloth. How you go hate on that? Consistent. No matter what, stay consistent. Keep going, my nigga, stay consistent. It's gonna come in place. For real. Consistent. How you go say you boss if you don't handle biz? Real men stay on 10, take care of their kids. You boys talking too much, it's time to show them ends. I did shows around the globe and never took a cent. That might have went over your head, I be thinking different. I bought real estate before I went and bought the Bent. I had sun 10 toes when you was in your feelings. And I ain't need no record deal to touch my first million. Spending money on assets for rainy days. I'm more focused on ownership, not the fame. Grab an old long tee, then jump in the stain. We just touched down, but right back on the plane.
I'm riding round top down in the summer rain. And these hoes make they necks when they see a nigga switching lanes.
Still got my top down.
I'm riding round top down in the summer rain. And these hoes make they necks.
Mission Bay, man, damn. Made 1,000 times this month, not too bad. I ain't gotta be famous to pull the stickers off the jag. I'm not a rapper, I'm a brand, real CEO with it. Playing tennis with some techies in my Larry Jones sneakers. First you gotta find your passion, then you stick with it. One thing about this game, you gotta stay consistent. Make time for your bitch, but always think riches. I'm not trying to go back to eating church and chicken. It's a nice day, I'm sipping tea and I'm reading. If she bringing drama in my life, she delete it. You hating on the internet, I'm sitting back chiefing. Another 50K, plan a trip for the weekend. I don't stack for the summer, bitch, I stack for all season. I can't put it in your hand, but I can show you how to get it. 17, I took chances, 18, took more. 19, I think that's when I bought my first Benzo. You don't really love me, you just want tickets to the show. You wanna hear your favorite song and all your girls wanna go. You wanna be on Instagram posting pictures like you own. You wanna wake up, dig down and sit on your way home. You gotta treat it like a job if you wanna make some dough. Go hard every day and never use the word no. Understand it's gonna be times that it's slow. Keep going. All my haters never really had money and it's showing. I can't step down to that. I'm on resorts and islands. Getting sand in my Crocs on these jet skis wildin'. On a race with myself, I don't see nobody. Fresh fruit in my water in my hotel lobby. Looking at a Grand Nash and I just might copy. Lighting up sudden flight with this go yard lighter. Bright lights in the city got me thinking about more money. OG told me it's no money like hoe money. Flight out of state, 20K is like show money. Meet me face to face, we can talk, then you can go for me. I don't hold grudges, I go harder than I shit on them. What's up, nigga? Remember when you used to call me Lil Homie?
Let's see if we generate some more sell-side liquidity. Right. I haven't quite traded up into that 5-minute imbalance just yet. But we're coming up on that the second AM macro here in a few minutes. I was hoping that we'd get tapped in right before then, so we can get that speed, right? That speed towards these low-hanging fruit, relatively equal lows, as well as tap into this hourly imbalance. But it looks like we might just be left out. We'll see.
$1,000 plays. Now my rubber band, 1200 Cartier. Never show your hand, just do what you say. It's the reason why I'm still respected in the game. And bitch, don't check me, check that motherfucking back too, you know what I'm saying? Numbers. OPM, check. Jet lag. Let's go right here. TFM. We lost years in the game cause the money was good. To make 10,000 was so humbling to us. Had to make it happen, you know the streets is cold. You cracking under pressure, me, I won't fold. I move how I move, I know niggas is watching. I fuck with rich niggas, we got something in common. I'm looking at the prices of gold, nigga, I'm cold. You niggas ain't really getting money, you niggas high. 40mm Rolex, I'm real player with it. But don't get it confused, little nigga, I'm having tokens. I don't even sleep no more, I just be coast. I can be 10 deep, man, the game wide open. Hoes still choosing cause these niggas still game goof. You hear it in my voice, I've been through it. This
Yeah, if we start getting some serious displacement past these relatively equal lows, then we'll just cancel this. But if we kind of barely shallow run it, should still be valid.
I'm all in Honolulu sipping mojitos with Dame. You gotta go hard no matter what, stop complaining. Born in 91, but the whip 88. Going through these motions. Nigga, I'm the coldest. Days I was hopeless. Nights on them sofas. Made me a monster. I came with a method. I move with intention. I'm out eating pasta. You hold the bitch hostage. I break the bitch pocket. And I don't even expect you weird niggas to like this shit. I'm raw.
I got myself a nice place in the hills, some new threads, a nice ride. It was fun. I like being a big shot. Wouldn't you?
And you can't be scared of change, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You be alright. Keep your eyes on that prize. Keep your eyes on that bag, you know what I'm saying? And don't trip, my niggas. Levels of success, you know what I'm saying? Take it one step at a time.
Yeah, see, look, that's the displacement I wanted, right? Purging all this sell side liquidity here. That's all right. Wasn't able to get tapped in, but you know, it's okay. We got plenty more opportunities to come, but that's how I was looking for when I initially came down here. Right here, this first time, I initially wanted to be like this, right? Displacement to the downside, purging through a lot of the sell side liquidity here, tapping into this 1 hour imbalance. Right, look at that displacement, right? Look at that displacement towards, right, all this sell side liquidity here, right? And it's tapping into that 1 hour imbalance. Right, so that's looking solid. Right, wasn't able to quite get up to that 5-minute Sibby, but you know, is what it is. Plenty more of opportunities. Right, towards the end of the session, that was the only thing I was looking at. So with that being said, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Right, and we'll be back on for New York Open tomorrow. Appreciate everybody, and until tomorrow, peace out.